So, what exactly do we have from Cure in this game number one? What are we going to see out of the victor of EPT Korea 133? And most importantly, what does MaxPax have in store for us? We knew with Nina coming up, it was going to be stylistic. It was going to be Warp Prisms drops, Colossus drops, things she could do out of the ordinary to try to take a game or two off of her opponent. Because as much as I love Nina, and Nina is fantastic, I'd like to be able to, I'm like, she's a friend of mine. At least I think so. You know, maybe she'll say otherwise. But yeah, Nina is not favored against Cure. I don't think there's I don't think it's probably 70-30 if you look at a League at the very least. But MaxPax, he can play these Korean Terrans straight up. His series versus Beyond are always fantastic, but he's going to start with a Zealot that you build kind of in the early game anyways to deal with Proxy Reaper plays. Says, well, I'm just going to allow it to complete. And now here I'm going to delay the natural, and Adept arrives as well. And now, oh, Zealot in the main base. The wall is going to be attacked from both sides. But of course now, this is actually I don't know that this is something that MaxPax necessarily wanted, but he's going to get another STV. He's going to get a third. There we go, delaying the starport even more. And now we will have to see the Adept try to find his way out. But there's a second Adept here now. It really can't join the fight. No, MaxPax thinks it can. Hellions running forward here, looking for something. MaxPax, he's got to get the shield back up on these Adepts, but he's going to force his opponent back for now. 3 STVs die. Orbital, or natural at the very least, and orbital by extension will be delayed in the meantime. And MaxPax behind this, what does he have? What is his answer to the chaos that he has created already? Dark Shrine, the Invisible Men. And if Cure is going for, say, Widowmine drops, he's not going to have a Raven. He's not. And with his natural being this delayed as it is, the Adepts now, they shade in. That's another dead STV there. Another dead Marine as well. Widowmine, though, not exactly what you wanted there, MaxPax, but you're going to be able to kill off the Widowmine well enough. So that's going to take some of the oomph out of the Widowmine drop for now. STVs are going to get pulled. Maybe another worker dies. Good wall here coming in from MaxPax. He is just doing every possible little thing that he needs. And remember, not only the 5th of November, but also the fact that MaxPax, for a while, he was winning these NA Cups back to back to back to back. He was doing, this was MaxPax's tournament. And he's doing everything that he needs to make himself look good in this game. Oh, the Stalker was trying to be... oh, Stalker almost ran away, but now into the main base. This is a fantastic position here because not only does this represent potential damage, it looks like it's only going to be 2 probes as MaxPax does have the pull. But it's the scout. It says, okay, there's a dark shrine on the field, but is it going to be just too little too late? As there we go. One Widowmine is going to go off on the other side. DTs find their way in. One DT is actually trying to punch his way through the wall. 2 probes die. There we go. Oh, Hellions found his way into the natural. This is getting a little bit hairy for MaxPax. He loses a lot more than he would have liked, but DT on the other side of the map represents a lot more damage because, folks, that's one scan that's not ready. Scan's going to be used right now. SCVs are just pulled to try to kill this off, but that does not matter. You just lift up, you go again. And yes, there's a Raven out by then, sure, but Ravens can only cover one spot. DT in the natural was able to punch through this wall. Yeah, MaxPax lost a couple more workers than he would have liked. But don't get me wrong. But on the balance of things, MaxPax is on 42 workers to 17 of his, or to 27 of his opponent. I can count. And he's just gonna bulldog this. There is not enough anti-air, there's not enough anti-ground to really deal with the DT, even if there's vision for the most part, at least with good micro. I almost, and maybe that's probably not the best play. I almost just want to see 3 more DTs get warped in. I feel like if MaxPax had built maybe a couple more DTs and just dropped them on top of the tank, he would have been able to get ahead of the production of his opponent, which is really the big thing. If you can get ahead of the production of the Terran and then camp it out, I mean, what really are you supposed to do? I don't really know. But MaxPax is only, well, he is on 3 gateways, but he was dealing with stuff at home. That was something that he did not necessarily know. And as Vikings pop out, it's suddenly like, okay, what do I do here? Now it looks like the eBay will be completed, but man, Cure is just all out of sorts in this game. He's down 16 workers. His eBay is slow, so his +1 is going to be very delayed, and this just buys room. MaxPax can get aggressive. He does not have Blink, so these Stalkers are not as effective as they might otherwise be. But Charge is on the way. There's going to be a second Archon here. MaxPax looking for Archon drops as he puts pressure at the front, and this is not a complete wall. With Charge being done here, there's room for MaxPax to get a lot of value, and the Raven, it's found its way on the other side of the map. It is looking for worker damage, but that means that this Warp Prism will not be disabled. The Archons will be able to find something. And his charge completes right around right now. Good scout for MaxPax as well. He's going to see this Raven on Kira's side, or on MaxPax's side of the map. So now MaxPax says, okay, there's no Raven here. Let me bust on through. This is just going to be an the bunker's dead. The question, though, is whether he can get the tank as well. MaxPax doing tremendous splash damage on top of the SCVs. Marines, they're dying as well. MaxPax says, yeah, you know what? Fine. Your Raven's on the other side of the map, but you're dead. So cool with the Raven. Another more. MaxPax up 1. In the bottom left, in the blue, up 1 here for PSISTORM, looking for a date with Dark. And ooh, that's gonna be a sexy PvZ. It is MaxPax. His opponent in the upper left, in the red. What does he have in store for us in Cosmic? It's Cure. And MaxPax, as he is wont to do, he does this on Stargazers as well. He's going to take the gold. And now the question is whether Cure's going to scout it. Beyond versus MaxPax from last week. It was game 3. MaxPax played an impressive game 1. Beyond made the comeback game 2. Anyway, the game that MaxPax won looked really impressive. I mean, both players looked very good. And then MaxPax goes for the proxy game 3. And it's like, okay, well, fine. Beyond scouted it immediately, and MaxPax just died. With these gold bases that are so far away from your main. These gold bases that are just so far away from your main. If they are scouted, you lose it. You just lose it 100%, and then if you recalled your probes over, you lose 12 probes or 18 maybe if you're mining the double gas. We're going to have to see now whether Cure has an idea whether the Reaper is going to check bottom. For right now, it's not. Of course, Cure is not scouted this, but Cure for the moment does not have his Reaper rallied bottom side. But you got to be careful if you're MaxPax. Notice he's rallying his probes directly to this base. He's going to have to recall now. But with the workers rallying, I guess it was only the one, that is something that is very scoutable. So instead he recalled. He's got workers producing on those bases, and a Zealot finds his way into the natural once again. This time, because Cosmic Sapphire is a little bit bigger of a map, a longer rush distance, the Zealot's not really going to get nearly the amount of damage it would like. But also, there's a Stalker joining the fray right now. MaxPax? Interesting. For a second, he wanted to block the wall. And instead now he's not. I guess he's a little bit too worried about SCV pull, but looks like it's only going to be one worker that dies this time. Is Stalker behind things. Stalker, yeah, just doing a little bit of damage, denying mining. But Stalker running out, doesn't get it out. Hellion should be able to chase that down. There we go. Meanwhile, on the other side, Reaper. Did the Reaper die? Yeah, Reaper did die. 2 probes died as well. So not nearly as worthwhile for MaxPax as game 1, but he is going for a different build. It will be Blink this time, not GTs. But Cure for the first time is going to find his way into the natural. Says, well, second time I guess he's going to find his way in the natural. Says, oh, okay, there's nothing here. That's a little bit spooky. And Hellion, of course, takes 3 shots to deal with a bunch of probes. The Stalker pops out just in time. This really shouldn't get too much done. It's going to get 1 worker, and that's more than you expect out of that single Hellion idea. But that's going to be just about that. But now the question is, what does Cure think this is? Now we got to assume he knows this is a gold, because why else would you be a 1-base Protoss? 1-base all-ins are not a thing. Maybe he's going to think MaxPax is taking the gas, but Protoss does not really Protoss loves gas. Don't get me wrong. Getting that early would be fantastic, but like any race, really, you scale off of early game minerals. Getting the early gas doesn't really do enough for you. I don't know, maybe some sort of wonky Tempest Rush to get that. I don't know, but certainly it is most more likely it's going to be the minerals. Blink is not quite done. No War Prism either, as the MaxPax is only on 3 gates. But again, the War Prism does signal a little bit more pressure from the man at this point. As Cure sends a Raven. Okay, so he does know that this is here. He's sending a Raven bottom side, I think. Oh, yeah. So he's sending the Raven bottom side. That's going to be his first attempt at dealing with this base, or at the very least, he sees it now. Stalker's going to warp in, though, and we see an auto turret does get dropped. Probes are going to have to be pulled away, so The mining advantage is removed for the moment. Stalker's trying to blink on top of the Raven. Takes a little bit of damage, but not too much. And 4 probes die. A little bit more than MaxPax would have liked. But now with these 3 gateways done, the third base just about, well, I guess, I don't know, you want to call this the natural, but third base done now for MaxPax. He's on, well, actually equal worker count with his opponent. But with the gold base, we can see that one, well, it's been decently ahead for MaxPax. It spiked for Cure for a moment when the probes were pulled off, but now it's fine. Stalker's now getting ready to blink in the main base. There's one tank here, and there's a spot, actually. Stalker's blink forward, trying to get on top of that tank, but not quite. Now a good pickup. One Stalker in pickup range. Stim not yet done. MaxPax taking advantage of the fact that he effectively has 2 blinks. He's got the blink and he's got the War Prism, knocking down a couple Marines, but that is going to be it for the most part. MaxPax, even with this early, the early gold base, he doesn't really have a lot of break pressure just yet. So now 4 Stalkers in a Warp Prism. It's not, that sounds like a joke, but 4 Stalkers in a Warp Prism. They're going to try to find their way forward. The Raven poking around. Where is the Raven? Oh, okay, so wants to take an alternate route, maybe into the natural. Maybe knock off a little bit more workers there. MaxPax's charge is going to be done soon, and we're going to see a bunch more gateways, Dark Shrine as well. MaxPax is going to lean into a style that Zest was making popular before the DT nerf. MaxPax a little bit slow on the pull here. A couple workers will die. Make it 2, make it 3. 3 STVs will fall, or 3 probes will fall, and now the Raven doesn't have enough energy anymore. So 3 more workers die. MaxPax outside of the natural, looking for a little bit more. Ideally, he gets a Marauder, but Marines are going to be nice enough as the Warp Prism is just kind of hanging around at this point. Cure is getting ready for the push, as another worker will fall. Cure is getting ready for his push right now. His +1 is done. A third base on the way, of course, but really the big deal, +1 is done. Concussive shells are on the way. And we're going to assume that he's going to push bottom side. Stalkers look for something, and it looks like a Zealot. Well, actually, the Zealots. Okay, Zealots in the War Prism now. But Stalkers are on the bottom side. Gateways are done for MaxPax. Solidly on 8 gate here. He has Warpins bottom side. He's going to start building more. And this style that I was talking about is this Blink DT charge idea. Is something that Zest was really using with tremendous effect right around the time of Katowice. But then the DT Blink got nerfed a little bit. They didn't do instantaneous damage, didn't work out quite as well. And we're going to have to see what MaxPax has in store for us. Is now this army from Cure, despite MaxPax having the gold, this is a scary army indeed. Zealots are not really ready just yet. And now with the tank sieging up as well, MaxPax, he needs another warp in or 2. The tickle beam of the sentries are doing what they can. The tank sieging up just out of range. MaxPax, though, he's got to run by into the natural, looking for just a little bit, or actually looking for his first little bit of worker damage. Widowmine shots are not going to get much of anything here. And now the Observer runs forward. MaxPax wants to make sure he knows what is with his army. Good force fields here to start, and the Bio's going to have to rotate back. Stalker's blinking right side, but the tank is still alive. 12 SCVs have fallen. It's a bit of a timer. Actually, 13 SCVs now. It's a bit of a timer on MaxPax at this point. Now, the Zealots look like they're going to eventually be dealt with, just not enough of them anymore. But this is a... Oh, DT's find their way in the main base now. And from the right, from the bottom side, from the north side, it's a big flank coming on in, but Widowmine shots once again. The tank is dead, but so many of these Zealots die as well. Armor Shredder missiles as well. Life is a bit scary here for MaxPax. He dealt with the tank, but the Bio, that's the real big problem. So now 7 more Stalkers warp in. Probes are going to have to get pulled here to try to make this hold happen, but MaxPax, so long as he's able to keep the space alive, he's going to be happy, but I'm not convinced he is. This is a choke and a half that he's going to have to deal with, and more and more and more. Bio rallying bottom side MaxPax, he's going to lose this gold. He's going to lose his Robo as well. And yeah, he got a lot of damage. He killed off a bunch of workers from Cure. Insane amounts of worker damage. But it's 25 army supply to 95. MaxPax is going to lose this base. He's a 2-base Protoss right now. And he just doesn't have the Warpins. He doesn't have... I mean, he's got the money for it. But he's going to need 4 or 5 rounds of Warpins. I mean... This army from Cure is just not... I mean, MaxPax is going to try to go for a flank once again, but his army is just so damn low that it's going to take him so long to maybe make something happen. But in fairness, if he was going to be able to knock that army from Cure down, maybe, because the army was not all together. So Cure now got his third base up, and despite MaxPax killing 25 SCVs, he lost 29 probes of his own. Cure, he's on equal worker count. He's got a third base. And MaxPax is going to take a more traditional third right now, but this is feeling bad. This is not feeling good for the Danish sensation. All right, so push on to the third base from Cure. Yeah, MaxPax just has to cancel that. He's not going to be able to hold, but okay, he's down 50 army supply. He's equal on upgrades. Armor. Oh yeah, he's down 2 upgrades now with the armor shredded missile going in. There's no way he holds this anymore. He just his army is paper. Even with shield battery overcharge, Stalker's trying to build as much of a concave as they can. Zealot's looking to engage, but Widowmines are going to burr off on top of everything. MaxPax is just dead. And it's 2 for 2 that I've seen him go for a gold-based idea, and it just did not work. MaxPax tied up in the series, 1-1. In the middle left, upper left, in the blue here, tied up in the series, 1 apiece. The gold base didn't work. It's MaxPax. His opponent on the bottom right, in the red, folks. The ace, one of the many aces of Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It's Cure. All right, so MaxPax, he's running Zealot across the map 2 games in a row. Game 1, it got a lot. It delayed the command center. It killed 3 SCVs, killed a Marine, I think. Game 2, it got an SCV. It didn't really delay the command center all that much. Really not nearly as worthwhile. So let's see what happens in game number 3. Does MaxPax build that Zealot again? Looks like that answer is no. Now, I feel like it makes more sense to do it on Moondance than Cosmic Sapphire, because I want to say Moondance is a shorter rush distance than Cosmic Sapphire does. All right, so Cosmic Sapphire's rush distance is 38 seconds, which is actually fairly long. I need to refining my search terms. It's not giving me what I want. And Moondance is 31-second rush distance. So that is 7 seconds different. That is the difference between delaying a command center and not at all. But MaxPax just changing up the way he wants to play. In this game, it's going to be a Stargate opener in game number 3. And Reaper can't even find his way up there. It is rare that you get a wall like that. Most of the time, there's kind of a spot the Reaper finds his way up on the high ground, and it doesn't get much, but at least it gets high ground vision. This is actually just nothing. So nice little quirk of the map here that MaxPax has been able to find. But okay, Adept on the other side again. It's just gonna just sit behind the mineral line, deny mining until a couple additional units come out from Cure. Maybe a couple Marines or something. As a couple SCVs taking shelter right there, but they really should not go down. And it looks like it's gonna be one of my drops coming out of Cure in this game number 3. It's kind of funny when you see the Hellion pop out in a game, you say, "Oh, okay." It actually means it's gonna be one of mine, which seems wrong. But anyway, you want that scouting Hellion. It just has a little bit more potential damage. We saw Cure got, I think, 1 SCV, and he got a full scout of the main base. I mean, the Hellion's fast enough that it generally, even if it doesn't get a work or two, it does pay for itself in the context of, well, getting that nice scout off. But MaxPax is going to try to hold on to these Phoenix as long as he can. And Phoenix against the Widowmine drop are just so nice. Oh, good body blocking there. And now, okay, the Phoenix will be revealed. So Alien doesn't get much more of a scout, but seeing that the Phoenix exists is going to be nice in and of itself. So now MaxPax says, okay, time to get on the map a little bit. He's got 2 Phoenix. He's got a couple of depths. And against this army that the Cure has, that can actually be somewhat scary. So first Phoenix, but you got to be careful. There's a Widowmine burrowed up. MaxPax, I think he sees this. He's zooming around it as if he does. So we're gonna see a couple SCVs go down. It's probably only gonna be 1 or 2, but even still, a little bit of damage early on from the Maximus Paximus. He has more Phoenix now. The question we ask ourselves is whether Cure is going to be able to avoid the Phoenix on the Widowmine drop, and even if he could, does he want to? Because the Phoenix, I mean, they just deal with these Widowmine drops so nicely as the Marine will fall that I'm not even sure you want to. I mean, that's just called losing resources. So for now, more and more Phoenix are on the way. MaxPax, he's going full Phoenix Colossus this game, which is not something we see him do all that much. Now, this may be a map consideration. I'm not quite sure. Or just maybe something he's like, Cure, he likes his Widowmine drops. I'm gonna go Phoenix, and because this is, there's a decent ramp protecting the third base that does make Colossus a little bit stronger. There's a lot of dead airspace, which is another reason why you just want Phoenix play, because even if it's not gonna be Widowmine drops in general are really scary on this map. So it makes sense, I guess, for MaxPax. Now the question is, how many Phoenix does he go to? Does he go to 5? Does he go to 6? Or does he go up to that 8 or 9 mark? It looks like that's going to be... He's going to play modern Phoenix Colossus. There was a time where you would go to 5, and then you would just kind of move into your Blink Stalker transition from there. But going up to 9 means you have the Phoenix for multiple fights. It means that you have lifts for multiple fights, which is really nice. It means that the tank pushes that Terrans love so much are really not going to be all that effective. But Curia's not going for any sort of push. In fact, he's just got his third base on the way in the pocket expansion. The Phoenix run forward, but there's a medevac right there. But on the dead airspace, looking for the medevac. I'm sorry, there was a missile turret right there. Looking for the medevac as much as they can, taking a little bit of shield damage. And Curia does have a push going up for the most part. MaxPax got to be careful. But this is not a push that I believe is going to be all that effective. First Colossus already out. And the Phoenix here, they're just doing a really good job knocking the medevacs down. And of course, with the Phoenix here, Widowmines are going to get lifted. Colossus is going to knock them down. It's just, it's Marine Mine against really the units that counter this for the most part. At least once Extended Thermal Lance is done. But all right. +1 attack on the way. Extended Thermal Lance halfway done. Curious third base. Had a decent time. He's going to have it done before the 7-minute mark. It's actually done right about right now. This game is going to be a little bit more passive as we move into the mid game. And MaxPax going even more. Well, I guess he's on 7 Phoenix. He cut Phoenix production for a moment to get his Colossus out and to get his +1 and everything. So moving back into Phoenix production once again. That's going to be a dead Widowmine. Oh, man, he almost got it. Almost. MaxPax getting ready for that 4th base just now. Here does not really have a lot of pressure available on the map. I mean, he's got this drop left side, but I mean, dropping into Phoenix play. I mean, if you're Myungshik and you're playing against Maru, maybe, or if you're Maru playing against Myungshik, I guess, maybe you can make it work. But in general, the style that MaxPax has done is really neutered any initial ideas. There we go, fake Oracle. Love to see it. Has really neutered most of the ideas of what MaxPax or what Cure may have been looking to go for. But now he's got 2 armies here. He's got an army on the left, army on the right. And our Colossus count is not quite where it needs to be just yet. Not enough on the ground just yet. Really only 3 Colossus, and that's it. I guess there's Immortal as well, but not a lot on the ground to deal with this one for the most part. So, well, Cure is hoping to maybe find some value in that idea. So, yeah, push on both sides, but a couple pylons fall. MaxPax, I mean, he's lost 25 more resources in this game, and he's been mining more. I'm really curious to see where he takes the 4th base, because Cure's got the inside track on that one. As pushing on the north side, MaxPax, Cure steps back. He says, okay, when they're a Phoenix, there must be more. And this actually buys MaxPax time to rotate over. Is charge... No, do we have a Twilight? We do have a Twilight, right? I am very surprised to see charge not done. Or not even started. Charge is a fairly cheap upgrade. And with all the Zealots that we have in the field, it feels like MaxPax has forgotten this. I mean, he's got +1, he's got everything else, but you really do need charge to take these engagements. Yeah, Zealots are good meat shields, but you want them actually doing damage. Otherwise, they are incredibly... I mean, Zealots are rather one-dimensional anyways, but MaxPax has forgotten charge at this point. I think it's safe to say. Okay, MaxPax, he's going to be able to take... He's going to take his 4th base in the pocket base, it looks like, and... well, that's going to work out for him. It does mean 1 less gas than taking the outlying base, but it is a lot safer, especially with these Phoenix on the field. Now, Phoenix, take a Widowmine shot on the right side, and with their armory down, you gotta send something over. So, there we go. Second scan will kill the observer. So this Widowmine is gonna hang around just a little bit longer. It's funny. We look at this, and MaxPax is kind of posturing like he wants to take the 12 o'clock position. So Cure keeps pushing there, expecting there to be something in the 12 o'clock position. There's really not. So now Cure scans out the pocket base. He says, okay, that's where your base is. But he's actually going to be rather happy because his base is done faster. Yeah, the planetary is not quite done. But Cure is on that position, mining in a fashion that is not long distance. Much quicker than MaxPax is. But MaxPax is going to be the first one to max out. He's got 2-1 on the way. Charge finally getting taken here. His War Prism is just dead. Okay. Unfortunate there, not exactly what MaxPax wanted, but it's just a War Prism. It's not like he lost to Colossus or something. Is now MaxPax finally going for that 12 o'clock expansion that he's been posturing for. He's been looking for, really, for the last 4 minutes. I mean, this is a remarkably passive PvT. This is not what we've come to expect out of the matchup, where it feels like both Terran and Protoss kind of feel like Terran feels that they need to end the game before it goes super late. And then in the middle of the late, Protoss feels like they need to end it, or Terran feels like they need to end it before it goes late. And then Protoss feels like they need to end it before it goes super late because, well, Terran doesn't really like to fight into Disruptor Colossus. I mean, that's really feels bad for them. But Protoss, at a certain point, does not like to fight into Ghost Liberator. So it's all about these timings back and forth, back and forth. So it feels like there's always someone pushing. But MaxPax just not been able to find the timing just yet. EMP's on top of the stack defense, at least to start here. And Blink is not done. There is, really the Phoenix are the anti-air still. This is, normally your Phoenix is your anti-air for quite a long time, but this is still such a late Blink. Even in the context of Phoenix Colossus play, wouldn't mind to get lifted. Zealot's running forward. MaxPax now looking for a fight here. He says, the army of Cure is kind of split up. My army is all together. So he's going to get a Ghost. Does not get a second. Really not enough anti-ground or a ranged anti-ground to knock that Ghost down. Now MaxPax is starting to build up a bank here. His +1 armor is just about done. Must see +3 attack on the way. He's got the money for it. And now it looks like we're going to go a little bit base tradey here. The army of Cure inside track to knock down that 12 o'clock position. Actually, no, MaxPax says, okay, well, I don't want to go for that base trade. I got to make something else happen. So he's going to try to put his opponent in a bit of an awkward spot. The Colossus are not where they need to be just yet on the left side, though. That's the other army of Cure that we were talking about. MaxPax will struggle to find his way on the high ground. And I think this base is just going to go down, MaxPax down. Actually, cratering its supply just a little bit as there we go, drop on forward. Cure really starting to tear MaxPax apart at this point. Finally, he's found his openings. He takes the base down. MaxPax does not really seem to know where he wants to be to defend and attack at the same time. But there we go, recall into the natural. We're going to have to drop in the main base as well. The Colossus dealing what they can, but these are only 2 Colossus here. That's just about it. Cure gets on top of him. They're dead. MaxPax again, supply falling precipitously here. Dropping the main base as well. The Phoenix are going to try to do what they can. Defensive DTs are going to be able to clean this one up. But here he gets a base. He gets 2 Colossus. He gets an Archon as well, popping on the backside. And now, Cure has reset the base count. It's 5 bases to 5. MaxPax, he's going to have to chew through a lot of this bank to max out once again. I mean, of course, he's not rebuilding Colossus. He says, you know what? I don't really want that anymore. Colossus are not my unit of choice. In the late game, they really shouldn't be. It's just too hard to deal with them with the Vikings and the Ghosts and the Liberators. Although technically Liberator into you do want Colossus, you don't want Disruptors into Liberators because of the range disadvantage. Liberators outrange Disruptors, but Colossus outrange Liberators. But here we go, Stalkers, or the army moving forward and just in general. MaxPax looking for a fight, but he's going to get a Ghost with that Disruptor. That's nice, but without it really much anti-air, the Vikings are just unimpeded, and we're starting to see just so much stuff go down. That was the War Prison falling first. Colossus, they got to run back home, and this is just not a good situation for Cure. Now, of course, actually, I'm sorry, I guess the War Prison, no, that was an Observer going down. Big Zealot warp into the main base. This is not something that Cure really wants to deal with, but he is not going to pull his army back home. You see, he's got death on the mind here. So on the bottom right side in the middle of the map, or I guess on the bottom right side of our screen, on the upper right side of the middle of the map here, DT is looking for what they can. Scan gets dropped. DTs get knocked down mercilessly, but they do force Cure back once again. MaxPax 169 supply running forward once again. Big EMPs on this army. Disruptor shots gonna have to be the saving grace of MaxPax. The shots are good, they're not great. More Zealots, so they're warped in, and now we're starting to see the tech of our Protoss players start to fall down here. Extended thermal lance, or not extended thermal lance, excuse me, Liberator range. Now it completes. Cure, he's up 50-60 supply. He's looking damn fine in this game number 3. He desires a rematch versus Dark. He wants to put him in his place once again. He's again a reminder. Cure and Dark played a banger of a best of 5 in APT Korea 133. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's already up on my YouTube. You should take a look. But it was it was a long series. I think it went about almost maybe 2 hours. It was long as hell. But here now he's got +2 Liberator attack, which means Liberator is 2-shot Stalkers, or if you EMP them, they 1-shot Stalkers. MaxPax trying to play that Gateway Man style, but he needs to be up a base. He very much needs to be up a base on his opponent to make that one work, and he's got another base on the way, but it's not done. He's not mining from it. it's going to take him a while to really start to max out again. And here's going to look to try to abuse that as long as he can. Now, Scan is going to see these DTs, but it's not going to be where the DTs are going to look to be defensively. There's a second scan, though. DTs running away. 9 probes go down. MaxPax trying to pin this army into the natural. Is there another scan? Yes, there is. DTs cannot really engage, but they said they got to anyways. And with the Stars here, maybe the DTs are going to be what they need to be. There we go. 13 workers die, but MaxPax is going to be forced back for the moment. Disruptor shots. Liberators are going to siege up everything. Liberators are, well, yeah, Disruptors are just going to start to fall. 1, 2, 3 go down, or at least take shots. 40 workers are dead. The base is dead. MaxPax, actually, I think this is it. MaxPax now down to 43 workers. This drop is still not getting dealt with. And what does MaxPax have remaining? He's got 6 DTs, 3 Disruptors, an Immortal, really, and a prayer. These DTs on the other side, they're going to deal with this planetary, but there's going to be repair DTs they blink on over, but they're not knocking anything down. They're not fooling anyone. Cure 2-1. Day with Dark in the semis.